Hello and welcome to this episode of Newswatch Online TV News. I am Maria Tudukuri. Whilst you're here, please do not forget to hit the red button below. The United Nations Development Programme UNDP's main aim is to help countries eliminate poverty and achieve sustainable human development. UNDP has supported the National Youth Commission with items that cost about 400 million leones. Emerson Kamara is the Deputy Commissioner for the National Youth Commission. He said in an interview with Newswatch Online TV that the Commission will target 1,000 young people in the Western area to benefit out of the support.
We realized that one of the key problems of our young people after a couple of engagement and visitations around the Western area, we realized that livelihood is a very key issue currently. We know the virus is around, and we have a youthful population that depends on day-to-day finding. At the end of the day, we know the virus is stopping young people to survive the way they used to. So what we did was we had a couple of visitation engagement, and we came back to UNDP, realized that the young people of this country, particularly in the Western area, do need support, livelihood support, as the case may be, because these are trying times. So we engaged the UNDP and decided that we should see how best we could divert some of the fundings to supporting young people in terms of livelihood. That brought about the support of we received from UNDP, which is about 400 million euros. We are targeting about 1,000 young people in the Western area who will be visiting ghettos, attire bases, shanties, and the likes. Maybe vulnerable young people that could not fend for themselves, So we are targeting above 1,000 young people. We have not just food items, because they supported the commission with rice, cooking items, and also protections, like the soaps and the bilatangs, as the case may be.
Smallholder Commercialization Agri-Business Development Project, SCADEP, through funding from the World Bank, has supported the Ministry of Agriculture with $1.5 million to subsequently help the country with good rice seeds and seed bank through a project called Emergency Seed Support Program. Carl Samura is the communications specialist. He spoke to us.
SCADEP focuses on creating market linkages to providing access to markets through the rehabilitation of feeder roads and aggregation centers around selected districts in the country, and also providing access to finance for farmers. Due to the COVID-19, we are facing some amount of challenges in terms of the food that we have, especially when you talk about the key staple food, which is rice, and which is why the Ministry of Agriculture, through funding from the World Bank and through SCADEP, is now intervening to make sure that we mitigate the challenges, both short-term and long-term, that will come about as a result of the coronavirus or pandemic that we are now facing. As a quick mitigation method, we are supporting that for the plowing, harrowing, and seed harrowing of about 2,000 hectares of certified seed. Certified seed because we want pure grain, and out of certified seed is where you have table rice. And so that support is good. And also to the cultivation of over 5,000 hectares of multiplication of foundation seeds. Now, foundation seeds is the seeds that researchers do multiply to get certified seed, and from certified seed you get the table rice. So we need that foundation seed because we need to have a food bank, because we might not be able to get those quality seeds from other countries because they might be keeping it for themselves. So now we are trying to develop a seed bank, and it also goes with the rehabilitation of irrigation systems at Kobia and Mange, where these 5,000 hectares of foundation seeds will be multiplied. And the support will also be going to the Ministry of Agriculture to monitor and provide technical support, extension advisory services to farmers, and support to harvesting later when the rice will have been cultivated.
Now let's go for a quick break. We will be right back. Now let's join Hawa Dauda for Newswatch Online and News Hour interview segments in Studio 2.
Hello, welcome to Newswatch Online TV interview segment with me, Hawa Dauda. Our African proverb for today, knowledge without wisdom is like a water in a sand. Our special guest, Leslie Cole Showers, National Public Relations Officer for Sierra Leone Prison. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
To start with, let's start to talk about the attempted prison break.
Well, all I can say about that for now is that on the day of 29th April 2020, we were supposed to execute what is known as the presidential pardon. You know, we usually execute it on New Year's Day and on Independence Day every single year since we've had prisons in this country. And then we're actually supposed to execute it on the 27th of April, which was two days behind.
Okay.
But we couldn't do that because we had some coronavirus incident in one of our correctional centers, which is the Pademba Correctional Center.
Okay.
So we could not execute it. As a matter of fact, in the early periods of that day, we had designed something which we were supposed to share to various social media platforms, including real-time media institutions.
Okay.
But we couldn't do that because the moment we were working in order to release those inmates who the president had approved, I think about 263 of them nationwide, that was when the incident, was
What
sparked.
really prompted that incident?
Well, we don't know yet. As we speak right now, the matter is still under investigation, and the CID and ONS are seriously involved in the investigation. As soon as we have, the report, we'll be able to come up with reasons as to why the inmates rioted on that particular day.
Just after the incident, we saw a video in which inmates were accusing the prison officers to be part of the incident that took place.
Well, it is a matter of you believing the corrections officer or believing the prisoner or the inmate. Those are criminals we are dealing with. You have to expect them to be, mischievous sometimes. So that information that came out was false from the inmates who were being asked different questions by both the military and the police, and at some point one of our officers as well interviewed him, and he ended up changing his statement at the end of the day. So that is just to tell you that what he was saying was wrong and false.
So what about the treatment those political detainees, let me put it that way, are having?
They are being treated equally as every other inmate or prisoner, as most people would like to call them. They are no different from the other prisoners. All of them are human beings, so we do not have special treatment for special people. All of them are the same in our eyes, just as all of us are the same in God's eyes. So we treat them equally. No special treatment for special people. They are all the same.
Okay. So let's talk about the 18 inmates that was tested positive for the COVID-19. How comes?
Yeah, that is in fact it is 19 because
19.
Yes, the index case that we had, when he was taken to the treatment center at Frabe College hostels, he escaped from the treatment center, but he was recaptured and he escaped again, and the police have recaptured him again. Now he's with us, so it is no longer 18 but 19.
Okay, let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll give more updates.
Welcome back. You're still with us at Newswatch Online TV News Hour, and I am Maria Tudukuri. The Office of National Security, ONS, Sierra Leone Police, RSLAF, National Fire Force, Immigration, and Sierra Leone Correctional Service have come together to form a united force in order to ensure national security in the country. The Deputy Head of Media Sierra Leone Police, Samuel Sayo Conte, enlightened on their aims in an interview with Newswatch Online.
The initiative emanated from the Office of National Security, and in that regard we are having 6 institutions coming together to form what we refer to as the Security Sector Strategic Communication Coordinating Group. Those 6 institutions include the Sierra Leone Police, the Office of National Security, the ALSLAF, the Freetown Fire Force, the National Fire Force, the Immigrations, and also the Correctional Service. So we are coming together, or we've come together as a result of the increasing rates of lawlessness and indiscipline. So these 6 institutions, we are speaking in one unified voice. But when it comes to national security issue, you see these 6 institutions come together to address issues that has to do with lawlessness, violence, criminality, and indiscipline. Sierra Leoneans, we are all brothers and sisters in this fine, unique society. What I want to advise is that lawlessness, violence, criminality, and indiscipline will have no space in this decent society. If you are aggrieved, if you have something that is disturbing you, please don't take the law into your own hand. There are various channels that you can vent out your grievance. Please respect the law, for without law, society crumbles, and law is the pivot around which the stability, survival, and continuity of any society evolve. So we want to see a unified and a well-developed country.
Welcome back. You're still watching Newswatch Online TV News Hour interview segment with me, Hawa Dauda. In the studio, I'm with Mr. Showers, the PRO for Sierra Leone National Prison. So let's talk about the positive case. You said now it's 19.
Yes, it started with 1, as I was saying, you know, the index case. I think it was on the 24th of April, rather, that he was tested positive for the COVID-19. But on the 17th, he was arraigned in court number 6 specifically. From the court, he was sent to us for safekeeping, which means he was supposed to be on remand with us. So he was sent to us. When he came to us, we tested his temperature. His temperature was normal. And we also ensured that he washed his hands properly before going into the Pademba Correctional Center. When he went in, on the 17th, the 18th, the 19th, and on the 20th, he started exhibiting some, sickly signs. We couldn't conclude that it was COVID-19 because we were not sure and we didn't have the testing kits to prove that. So when he started exhibiting sickly signs, we took him to the hospital in the Pademba Correctional Center. Whilst he was there, he was receiving some first aid treatment until the 22nd, when he came out and told us that he was in a quarantine home and he escaped there to go and commit the crime of larceny, which is known as stealing, and he was arrested. What we did was, on Independence Day, Independence Day was not a day of enjoyment for us at the Sierra Leone Correctional Service, especially for us working in Freetown here. We were very busy that day, trying to ensure that we evacuate all the inmates from the hospital in Pademba Correctional Center and all the inmates in the remand block at the Pademba Correctional Center as well. We had to relocate all of them into the male reintegration center, the place where Charles Taylor used to be imprisoned. It is also known as Special Court. That was where we evacuated all the sickly inmates in the hospital from Pademba Road and all the remand inmates in the remand block from Pademba Road as well. 163 of them in the remand block and 15 of them in the hospital. We relocated all of them to former Special Court. That's where we kept them. So we now have 19 of them and not 18. It is not everything that we would let out to the public. You know, we have what is known as classified information.
Okay, now if there's a lot of controversy on something, so you can't let it out to the public? Okay.
If it is classified, there is no way we're going to let it out to the public. For instance, people were coming up with all sort of theories as to where Pablo Conte was kept after the incident at Pademba Correctional Center. Some were saying we took him to Kenema, some were saying we took him to Bond, some were saying we took him to Kailam. So do you think
Some
it
even
would have
said
been rational
he was
for us
in
to come out and
concrete.
say Paulo Conte is in so place, or for security reasons we won't do that. He's still in Freetown somewhere, kept safe, but certainly not the Pademba Correctional Center. But he's still in Freetown.
Okay. Thanks very much for joining us in this
Thank you for
edition
having
of.
me.
That's all we have for you today in this edition of Newswatch Online TV interview segment with me, Hawa Dauda. Till we meet again, bye.
That was Hawa Dauda in Studio 2 talking to the PRO from the Male Correctional Center. Sierra Leonean artist Jeremy Michel Kosho, aka Mr. One, on Tuesday, 26 May 2020, continued to sensitize youth on non-violence across the East End part of Freetown.
The Chief Executive Officer for Advocacy to Entertainment, Jerome Michael Koshu, said coronavirus is real and asked all youths to adhere to the preventive measures.
So money for now for take the preventive measures that they must have sabi people like so you understand me. Once your hand fast, no now for keep the social distance, at least you get your marks for protect yourself. It pass, that's come in the past.
He added that he and his team decided to move on the streets of Freetown to educate youth about the negative effects of violence. He encouraged the youth not to allow politicians to use them to cause violence because if they do, they will have themselves to blame.
Many easy way make us take on the street. Notice say people and they when I sharp people when them people and they get money. So it's they take advantage of situation and they can't meet money. Keep start getting and money and say go do so for me. At the end of the day, then I also a cola. The way you know at the end of the day, you go fall short something happen and everybody will go rescue you and I mean now you get for feel the pain at the end of the day.
Also speaking was Sulaiman Kagbo, aka Biniman, representing St. Conscripts. He said they decided to preach about non-violence among youth because they want to end violence in the country so everyone can live a peaceful life. He called on governments to support them with jobs, which would help them to stay off from violence.
We the first one preach against this non-violence. For the man to stop this violence business in the country, at least we will be peaceful in the land. Yeah. Because some of we out there, we serve looking graduates who they see way to the read. But we pray to God, and God put blessing. Help up our government, help we let this non-violence stop in the country.
Reporting for Newswatch Online TV, I'm Yusuf Osaidu Bangura.
Thank you very much, viewers, for watching this episode of Newswatch Online TV News Hour with me, Maria Tudukuri. Please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our pages on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which are all on Newswatch Online at TV SL. I have been your presenter, Maria Tudukuri. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you very much.